Alongside the stories of heroes and aces of the Battle of Britain, we also like to share the lesser-known stories of pilots who might otherwise be forgotten, but were just as courageous. One such pilot was Pilot Officer Richard Ralph Hutley. Hutley joined the RAF Volunteer Reserve in 1938 and was called up at the outbreak of war in September 1939. The following year, in October, he joined 213 Squadron at Tangmere, right in the heat of the battle in 11 Group. On display in the museum is a copy of a letter written by Hutley to his parents on his arrival at Tangmere. He wrote, "I had quite a good journey down, a grand lot of chappies in my squadron. I know one of them, so it was not long before I settled down." He paints a picture of the exciting life of a young pilot newly arrived on an airbase. "I find my Batman has put a fire in my room. He must be a good man. But as I'm taking a waft to the pictures, I'm afraid it will be wasted." Considering he'd just arrived at the base, he was clearly making friends. Midway through the letter, he was interrupted when duty called. "Sorry, darlings, I've forgotten what it's all about. We've just been called to readiness and were sent up 20,000 feet over the Isle of Wight. Saw nothing. I saw about 50 yesterday, but they were even more scared than I was, so they went home. Don't worry, life is very easy round here, and yesterday was an exceptional day." Tragically, the following day, Hutley was shot down and killed. He was just 22 years old. When you visit, you will also see a letter written by the nurse who tended to him, which she sent to his mother a few days later. She wrote, "I was tending him to the last, and we did all in our power to restore him. I would like you to feel, as I do, that your son gave his life not only for his country, but also in saving those of us who are working on the coast. So often our pilots appear to take their burning planes deliberately out to sea and then bail out rather than crash on the houses, and in so doing they run a much graver risk to themselves." The nurse highlights the enormous courage of these ordinary men. Hutley, and likely others before him, had been watched by the nurse and her community flying their stricken aircraft over the sea so as to avoid crash landing on civilians below. Sadly, in Hutley's case, it proved fatal.